Hi, hello, and good afternoon. My name is Amanda, and welcome to The Done Creative. For today's pick a card reading, we are going to be figuring out what you can expect for the summer of 2020. I just wanted to preface this video by saying that this is going to be a summer full of retrogrades. We've had Uranus and Neptune in retrograde since January, and they will be retrograde through the summer. Uranus will go direct again in August, but Neptune is going to be retrograde all the way to November. And then in April, we had Pluto going retrograde, and it will be retrograde through the summer as well. And then in May, we have Venus, Jupiter, and Saturn all going retrograde. And then once again, Mercury retrograde coming up in June. So, wow, we have a lot of re-examination and rebirth, and all the words that start with re are going to be happening this summer. Because in a karmic way and in a collective way, we are eliminating what is no longer serving us in our lives. This summer is going to be a time full of reflection and introspection and ridding ourselves of what no longer serves our highest and most spiritual good. We are evolving as souls on a collective scale at this moment, so that means as individuals, we are all going through our own mini revolution or rebirth or transformation of some sort, and let's go ahead and figure out how that's going to affect you this summer. So if you're new to pick a card readings, I just ask that you close your eyes, take a couple of deep cleansing breaths to try to center your energy and focus in on piles number 1, 2, and 3. And if more than one pile calls out to you, there may be a message in each pile for you. Once you've selected your pile or piles, you can go ahead and check the description box below for the timestamp, and I also try to pin them as the top comment. I'm going to go ahead and give you guys a moment to meditate on the cards, and I will see you over at your reading. Alright, group number 1, let's figure out what you can expect over the summer of 2020. And if you skipped my intro, I was just saying basically that this is the summer of retrogrades. We have a lot of planets going retrograde from the end of April into May and into June. This is going to be a time of introspection, reevaluation, releasing what no longer serves, transformation on a global scale as well as an individual scale. And this is going to give you an indication of what transformations are going on in your life and also what other things can you expect over the summer of 2020. And we're going to go ahead and start with the tarot card. So I'm just going to set these off to the side for a moment. And this is going to be kind of the overall energy or theme of the summer 2020 for you. All right, you guys have the Judgment card. So that is also a card all about transformation. A card that is really tied in with karma and accounting for past actions. It's not a punishment. And I don't want people to look at karma as some sort of punishment. It's just what your soul needs to work out in this life. So there may be some karmic endings or karmic even new beginnings coming up for you this summer, but you're also figuring out what values are serving you moving forward and which ones you may have held in the past or currently that are going to be falling away. And I think for a lot of you, this just has to do with society or culture and just how things are run. You're going to be realizing that some of the ways that maybe you've been going about your life or that others are going about their lives just aren't the best for the planet, aren't the best for the animals or people or you. They're just not serving you. And I like to say the best way to vote is with your dollars. So I feel like you guys are going to really be examining what it is you're purchasing when you spend your money. Are you purchasing something that's going to be mass produced and paying people a low wage to create it? Or are you going to be more of the mind to support people who are local artists, who are maybe upcycling things and putting their hard effort and work into something? Something like that. You guys are just kind of changing the way you think of things and just your outlook in general. But when things do start to happen in your life that feel heavy or hard, just know that you shouldn't blame yourself or others for these things happening. They're happening because that is what your soul wanted to experience to evolve in this life. So next we have some planet, signs, and house cards that we're just going to kind of put together. These are some new cards I got that I thought would be fun to figure out some of these things together. Okay, so we have the Sun card in Sagittarius in the 12th house. And if you put these words together, it says the creation of insights to understand your faith. So you may be, like I was saying with this judgment card, really diving into what it is you believe. What values do you hold to be true or really essential to your well-being in life? That is kind of the spiritual takeaway from this. The mental takeaway it says gaining of respect for or from the wisdom of hidden tendencies. So you may be unlocking some subconscious belief systems that have been holding you back and really starting to overcome those. And then in the physical, it says things brought to life or light resulting from the understanding of large institutions or overwhelming events. So large institutions, you can think of that as corporations or even governments, and overwhelming events could be what we're going through right now with this coronavirus and quarantines and all the things. So you're going to be getting some things brought to light in your own life and really getting understanding from what they are and what they're meant to teach you. And because you have the Sun card, the Sun does represent your soul. So it feels like you're really getting in touch with your soul. And Sagittarius is all about your belief systems and luck and higher education and your philosophy in life. So you guys are really examining those things. They're really important to you. And then the 12th house is that hidden house of, it could be hospitals, jails, institutions. It could even be like some sort of ashram or holy site. It could also be your subconscious mind or your dream state, or going overseas represents faraway places or even foreign people. So these might all be up for examination for you over the summer of 2020. So let's go ahead and get into your oracle cards and really get them to tell a story about what else you can expect this summer. We're just going to start up here with this other tarot card that I forgot to talk about with your other ones, so we'll just go ahead and do it now. But you have the 12 card, which is all about perspective. It's basically the Hanged Man, and it's just saying there's a better way forward for you guys. So if you've really been struggling lately, even the past few years up till recently, and if you're still struggling, just know there is a better outlook on the horizon. There's a better way for you to really look at things, and this is a time for pausing and reflecting and gaining insight, like we were talking about with these planet, house, and sign cards. There's some sort of insight about yourself, about the world, about all sorts of things that you're going to be gaining, and this is all about looking at things differently than other people are looking at them. So the conclusions you're going to be coming to are going to be things that are going to be really outside the box, especially if you've been somebody who's been going with the grain and kind of keeping with the status quo. This is going to be you shaking that up and realizing you don't have to fit in. You don't have to be a cookie cutter. Your life doesn't have to be a lookalike of the Joneses. You don't have to keep up with the Joneses or the Kardashians or anyone. You're here to blaze your own trail. And I do feel like most of you guys already do that. But if you're someone who has tried to play by the rules and fit in and go along with the motions, you're going to just say at this point, enough's enough. And it's not going to be like a point where you come to get really frustrated and throw up your hands and do it. It feels more like a really beautiful evolution to you discovering that power within yourself with that 12th house, and in Sagittarius, the wisdom that you're gaining from your own soul and your own introspection. Because you have the new moon here with promise, there is something really beautiful on the horizon for you guys, something you've been wanting for a very long time. And because this is the new moon card, it might be beneficial for you to do some sort of new moon ritual where you're putting your intentions out into the universe. Maybe you want to do some sort of ritual or spell to really physically ground that energy that you're trying to create or the dream you're trying to make happen, to bring it to the physical world and make it a reality. With the Imagine card here, it feels like you're really going to be tapping into that inner self. That 12th house is a very imaginative, it's ruled by Pisces, it's a very imagination-centered house. And you guys are really going to be tapping into that subconscious. So you may be getting dreams about something that could become a creative project, like a book or a screenplay idea, or just some really creative way to decorate your office, random things, but you can be getting a lot of downloads through your dream time, but even in your meditation time. Then with this wind card, with the activation, it feels to me like you are somebody who's already on a spiritual path, but you're going to be really coming into your own in a spiritual sense and tapping into that inner self. And with the activation, if you don't know already about 5D consciousness or New Earth, our bodies are physically upgrading. The energy on this planet would be something our bodies wouldn't be sustainable in even a year ago. The planet is changing, the energy is changing, and it's all for the better. But this activation card, it feels like there's been something activated within your body or your subconscious or in your soul that is just telling you that you're on your way to something better. And it's with this kick up your heels card, it doesn't feel like I was saying earlier, it's going to be this difficult road. Even if you've been through some difficult stuff, this is like a breath of fresh air. A promise is on the horizon and you're going after it. But one of the best ways to get yourself in this mind state, or this state of mind is the word I was looking for, is to kick up your heels, have some fun. And this unicorn Pegasus horse here is out in nature. There's a rainbow, there's a waterfall, there's water, there's trees. It might be beneficial. This horse is probably, of course, barefoot, so to get out in nature and put your bare feet in the grass, because earthing is a really beautiful way to reconnect your body to the earth and to really get some health benefits. If you want to Google earthing and health benefits of earthing, I think that might be something that would really benefit you this summer, especially if you're living somewhere where you can get outdoors and put your feet in the grass or the sand or the ocean. They're just really great ways to help your body, and that might even be bringing on some of those DNA activations and upgrades that you are going to be going through. So yeah, you guys, I hope that didn't take a woo-woo turn at the end. If you ever want to Google some of the stuff I'm talking about, feel free to do so, especially if you think it might benefit you. I did want to go ahead and pull a little clipping or word or two out of the treasure box, just so that you have a little bit more information and guidance. So I'm just going to close my eyes and select a couple of things here. Okay, so we have keep calm, which really fits well for me with this promise card. It's just a very serene environment. Big news, and good health will be yours for a long time. So maybe getting out in the nature and grounding is really going to help you in that health way, especially if you have been ill or have some sort of long-term illness or injury that you're dealing with. I see someone with back pain. You may get some good news about your health conditions, or you may be healing yourself by getting out in nature. But this big news could also be for some of you, any kind of big news in life. A new job, a new relationship, hearing a friend or family is having a baby, or you're having a baby. Something really fun and exciting is going to be happening. And this may even just be the big news of knowing that you can re-enter the world and everything is looking up. So you'll have to let me know below what you thought and if this resonated. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. Alright, bye! Alright, group number 2, let's figure out what you can expect for the summer of 2020. And if you skipped my intro, I was just saying basically that this is the summer of retrogrades. We have a lot of planets going retrograde from the end of April into May and into June. This is going to be a time of introspection, reevaluation, releasing what no longer serves, transformation on a global scale as well as an individual scale. And this is going to give you an indication of what transformations are going on in your life, and also what other things can you expect over the summer of 2020. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and start with your tarot cards and then get some additional guidance from our houses, planets, and signs cards, and some oracle cards. Okay, so for your tarot cards, we have the 5 of Michael and the 8 of Wands. So with this 5 of Michael or 5 of Swords, it feels like you are releasing, much like we were saying with all this reevaluation, introspection, transformation, you are releasing a situation or 2 or 3 or 20 that is no longer serving you. And I feel for many of you, because this is a sword card, is that mental energy. This just may be belief systems or lies that you tell yourself about yourself. that I'm not good enough, I'm too fat, all the little things our egos like to say in our heads. You're gonna kind of cut them off and say, you know what, I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. And you're really releasing your attachment to the outcome of something. So if you're going after something, you're not going to put all your eggs in a basket and then let yourself get disappointed. You're just kind of detaching from the outcome of stuff. You're still putting in beautiful effort with this Eight of Wands, which we'll get to soon, but it feels like whatever you're going after, you're not putting your heart out on your sleeve as you go after that thing, if that makes sense. And then with this Eight of Wands, it feels like things are really moving forward for you, where things may have been really at a standstill before this Five of Michael energy here. You may have just felt like nothing's happening, everything feels like it's stagnant, or even in some cases falling apart for some people. But with this Eight of Wands, things are really going to start boom, 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 really moving forward in life for you, whether that's in your career, your personal life, getting things accomplished around your home, whatever resonates for you, whatever it is you're wanting to accomplish or do this summer, things are going to be moving quickly. And I do see for some of you that might be some sort of fun road trip, and for some reason I'm seeing ocean. I know there's no ocean in either of these things, but I'm just picking up ocean. The Eight of Wands also deals with sorting and getting your priorities straight. So some of you that may have had just really chaotic stuff going on with this quarantine, your daily routine maybe got all messed up. Maybe you're kind of reevaluating what you want your daily routine to look like, or maybe you're getting back to some semblance of normal or what life was like before quarantine, and you're kind of sorting your schedule and kind of getting back on track in some sort of way. But for some people, you may be discovering something that's been missing in life, or there may be some sort of aha moment in a project or some sort of dilemma that you've had going on. I see writer's block for someone, that they're going to be overcoming that and really moving forward on a project, whether that's a blog post or a novel or a short story, whatever kind of project you're working on. You're moving very quickly, and action is being taken, news is coming in, and it feels like good news is coming in, and things are really happening for you guys this summer of 2020. And even though this year started out really rough for, I think, you guys and many other people, you're gonna look back on 2020, the summer of 2020, and think of it very fondly, and what a period of growth and transformation and just beauty occurred in your life during that time. Okay, so let's go ahead and move into the planets and signs and houses cards. So we have the planet Jupiter in Aquarius in the 8th house. And I'm just going to read these off the same way I did for group number 1. And that was the spiritual, mental, and physical things that you're going to be coming about from this. So for the spiritual, it says the granting of genius to experiment with personal power. So you guys are really going to be, I think with this Five of Michael, with releasing what's not serving you, you're going to be tapping into this place within yourself that maybe you've never even accessed before because you were playing too small, or you listened to what other people were saying about you. Oh, I see glare. We don't want that. Okay, that's a little bit better. You may have been listening to what other people were saying, or just not really standing fully in your own power. But with this 8th house, the 8th house already deals with major transformations. So you guys are going to be going through major transformations, and that's not always going to look easy and be pretty and, all neat and tidy. It might get messy, but it feels to me like when this energy has run its course and everything is said and done, and you've done the work and you've put in the action, you're going to be so happy, because you will discover who you are and what it is you're here to do. I feel like for some of you that might be life purpose stuff. But then the mental stuff you're going to be discovering this summer is blessings from the discoveries of the mysteries of life. So some of you may be going down the rabbit hole and really looking into, I'm seeing conspiracy theories for some people, but that's going to lead you to something of a higher sense, something really spiritual, esoteric knowledge. Maybe you're diving into tarot or astrology or some sort of Wicca or witchcraft, and really getting into touch. And I'm getting crown tingles as I say that, and that doesn't happen often in my readings, but when it does, I know I'm onto something. So you guys may be even, I'm seeing like shamanic practices or rituals or some sort of herbs and medicine and really learning about, and the word apothecary just popped into my head. So maybe you're doing some sort of backyard apothecary medicine with dandelions. Maybe you're making dandelion tea, or just looking for ways to improve your health with the natural world. But because it is Aquarius, I feel like you're going to be using a out-of-the-box method to come up with ways to use this transformational 8th house energy. And because it's Jupiter we have here, it's in the expansion of this thing. So this thing's going to be blown up wide for you in a good way. Then on the physical plane, you have good fortune resulting from the eccentricity of a major change. So you're going to be getting a good fortune from some major change in your life, but this change isn't just going to occur. It's going to be because of your eccentricity. That means your eccentricness, how out of the box you're thinking. So this big change isn't going to come about just by doing the same old mundane things or what's even expected of you. This is by switching it up and really getting creative with what it is you're going after. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into your oracle cards. Beautiful. Okay, so we have right off the bat here, up top, we have Dance, Celebration, and Desert Vision Quest. And to me, those cards look very similar, like this person is in this setting. There's going to be something worth celebrating. So maybe there's some sort of wedding or social event that you're going to, maybe someone's birthday party or some sort of reunion or retirement for somebody. Maybe even just getting together with people you haven't seen in a long time because of this quarantine, and there's just going to be a sense of happiness and joy and celebration and just wanting to be near and dear with the people you love. And with this desert card with the vision quest, it may involve you actually going out in nature. Maybe you're going on a camping trip, or you're hiking, or just spending time out in nature. But when you're out there, at one point or another, you're going to discover some really deep inner truths about yourself. With this Jupiter, it's going to be something really big, and with this 8th house, it's going to be a major transformation in your life. But it's something, this is a big card to get. It's not every day I pull this card out of that deck, so you're going to really be discovering a lot of hidden gems within yourself over this summer. And then with this Fates card, this is something that was destined to be, something you absolutely signed up to experience here on the physical plane. When you were still on the other side before incarnating, you decided you wanted to experience these things. So whatever's coming up for you this summer, these big major changes and everything you're looking to implement into your life, it is destined to be. And for some of you, I do see that is something to do with a relationship. So if you're already with someone, this just could be transforming this relationship into something much deeper. With an 8th house connection, it feels very sexual, very passionate, very deep. Something that is very interconnected. So you may, if you're already with your soulmate or a twin flame, that's just going to be connecting deeper with this person. But if you're not with anyone, you may meet this person and have an almost instant deep connection with them. And then here we have the Honoring Your True Feelings card, and I pull this card quite a bit, but this is just really going back with what we were saying and really getting in touch with this vision quest card, what it is you truly want. Because if you can follow your bliss, you can create a life that you don't need a vacation from, a life that you're proud of, a life that you cannot wait to get out of bed every morning and take on the day. That's the life we all should be striving for. And that type of life looks very different for everybody. But because you have this Aquarius card, for me, it feels like this life you're wanting to create or go after isn't going to be your status quo, keeping up with the Joneses, because Aquarius is a very eccentric sign. And if you follow Vedic astrology, I think it's called Pravam or something. I'm probably totally butchering that. Maybe it starts with a B, a P, I don't remember. But it means 12th from the 12th. And the 12th sign is Pisces. And 12 signs away from Pisces is Aquarius. So that makes Aquarius the highest of the high as far as spirituality goes on the physical plane. It is 12th from the 12th. And Pravam, is that right? I will try to research that and put that up, but I've heard it a few times, and KRS Astrology here on YouTube does a great job of explaining that, and that's always stuck with me. So maybe wherever Aquarius is falling in your chart is going to be somewhere very important for you to focus your energy. So for example, if Aquarius is in your fourth house is your physical home, your motherland, your house, your vehicles, stuff like that. So you may really be putting your effort into the fourth house if Aquarius is in your fourth house. But if Aquarius is, say, in your third house, that's all about communication, even social media, your younger siblings, short-term or short-distance travel. And that could even be writing for somebody or working with your hands, creating something and doing fun hobbies, just really enjoying yourself. So honoring your true feelings, and I do see her doing some sort of little crochet project here, so she's doing some sort of hobby. So hobbies may be very important to you this summer. Okay, so that's all I'm seeing from your cards, but I wanted to pull a few messages out of the treasure box here to get a little more guidance about what you can expect this summer of 2020. I'm going to close my eyes and shuffle them around and grab a couple here. Oh, we got 4. We have the best of both worlds. We have a fortune cookie fortune that says you have an unusual magnetic personality. Just be aware of your polarity, which is funny because best of both worlds, that's like duality or polarity there too. Very funny. You will soon bring joy to someone. Your gut acts like a second brain. And one more fortune. If you can shape it in your mind, you will find it in your life. So that one I just read really goes with honoring your true feelings and really getting creative with hobbies and stuff, or visualizing with this vision quest, really figuring out what you want your life to look like and physically visualizing that. Maybe even making a vision board of whatever goals or dreams you want to go after, to look at them and picture yourself walking through your dream home or picture yourself in your dream job. That will really help you. And I feel like intuition is going to be very important for you to follow this summer with your gut acts like a second brain. Really follow your gut, your intuition, because it's not going to steer you wrong. And I feel like you guys are really going to be tapped in with this Vision Quest card and this Aquarius card to that inner self, that inner knowledge, and that life purpose with this Fates card, your destiny. You're gonna be able to follow that with your intuition. But with the best of both worlds, this feels to me like you're going to be having your cake and eating it too. So you may be working hard, but you're also going to be playing hard. And with this, you will soon bring joy to someone. It feels like with this dance and celebration card, you're going to be reconnecting with your friends, your family members, and people you've just kind of had go by the wayside during this quarantine because you couldn't physically be with them. But I do feel like the biggest person you're going to be bringing joy to is going to be yourself, because this is a summer with a lot of introspection, a lot of transformation, and releasing what's no longer serving you. And when you can release what no longer serves you, you're really going to clear up space in your life to bring in what will serve you and what you desire. So I think that's all I'm seeing for you guys. You'll have to let me know below if this resonated and what you thought. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really, truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye. All right, group number 3, let's figure out what you can expect over the summer of 2020. And if you skipped my intro, I was just saying basically that this is the summer of retrogrades. We have a lot of planets going retrograde from the end of April into May and into June. This is going to be a time of introspection, reevaluation, releasing what no longer serves, transformation on a global scale as well as an individual scale. And this is going to give you an indication of what transformations are going on in your life, and also what other things can you expect over the summer of 2020. All right, so let's go ahead and start with your tarot cards and work over to the oracle cards later. Okay, so you have the 5 of Raphael, or the 5 of Cups, and the Star card. I don't want to have that glare, so I'm going to bring these down just a bit. With this combination, it feels to me like there's been something in the recent past that has just maybe not gone your way or fallen apart completely, whichever end of that spectrum you fit on. Whatever resonates, that's where you're at. But there was a little bit of regret, or maybe even a lot of regret, going on with this thing. And that 5 of Cups is that spilled milk energy. So you're really focused on the 3 cups that spilled, and you forget that you still have 2 full, beautiful cups of opportunity in front of you. But because you have the Star, this summer, you're really going to be focusing on those 2 cups you have left and expanding them even beyond the 5 cups you had started with originally. You're going to be taking this to a whole other level. And if you felt like your life was just a series of start, stop, start, stop, start, stop, with this star here, this just reminds me that you guys are going to finally be gaining some ground in life and gaining some traction in the direction of your dreams. Because the star comes after that Tower card in the tarot, the star is all about that rest and recuperation after... Sorry about that, you guys, my battery died. So as I was saying, the star is that card that comes after the Tower card in tarot, and the Tower card is all about everything crumbling down and it feels like you've just hit rock bottom. So if you've had a Tower moment or 2 in your recent past, or you're still going through one, just know this summer you're going to get that rest and recuperation that you well deserve and that success that you're looking for. Because the star is all about a realization of your dream finally coming to fruition, or you're gonna start taking steps in that direction finally. Instead of having that Tower moment where you're just literally trying to keep your head above water, the star actually gives you that time of rest and recuperation to really think about the dreams you have and what steps you need to take to go after them. And this is all about knowing you're going to be successful. So something you partake in or go after this summer is going to be very successful for you. And I do feel like for many of you, that's going to have to do with bringing in more abundance or finances into your life, especially because it comes after the Tower. This card can be about gaining new trust in a relationship. So if you've had some rocky relationship stuff going on, and it's almost, I almost envisioning her as this woman, and maybe this is her husband or boyfriend, and she's turned away from him. So maybe they had a fight. So maybe you have had some ups and downs in a relationship, or if you're single, you've had a lot of rocky past relationships. But this is just saying there's going to be a new trust that's developing this summer with this star card, a new trust between partners. So let's go ahead and get into your planets, signs, and houses cards. And we're just going to be reading and figuring out some stuff on the spiritual, mental, and physical plane with these cards. And I don't want to get that glare. There it is. Okay. Gone too far. That looks like a good compromise about there. Okay, that's about as close as we're going to get. Okay, so you have Moon in Gemini in the first house. That's funny, I have my moon in Gemini as per Vedic astrology, but in Western astrology, my moon actually falls in Cancer. But that's not why you're here. So we're going to continue. So in the spiritual realm of things, it says the nurturing of information to explain who you are. So you're really going to be getting in touch with this, I feel like this energy, because I was talking about some relationships. The most important person you can have a relationship with is yourself. So I feel like you're really getting some information to figure out who you are. But it's not to have to explain yourself to other people. It's just so you can have a deeper understanding of who you are and what you're meant to do here. Then in your mental realm, we have feelings caused by communication about your desires. So you may have some feelings coming up about you talking about your desires to a loved one or a significant other, and they may or may not be on board with what it is you're talking about or wanting to go after in life. But this can go either way. So you can really feel energized by telling people about your desires, or it can make you feel bad about yourself. Like maybe they'll say, yeah, but who are you to go after that? And they might make you feel really bad. So either way, this is just saying, if you are communicating your dreams and desires to other people and you have feelings that come up around that, just try to separate their projections from your true feelings, because they can be easily intermingled and hard to untangle. So then on the physical, we have reactions resulting from the fluctuation of your actions. So reactions and actions, there's going to be a lot of emotions tied into the actions that you're taking during this summer. And that could be reactions from yourself, reactions from other people. If other people see you flying high and they want to bring you down a peg or two, they may, like we were saying earlier with this, kind of start gossiping about you or saying, oh, that dream's not realistic. You need to really separate their projections from your own inner knowing and emotions. And because you have the first house, The first house is all about your personality and who you are, your physical body. So you may be, it's funny because I keep seeing this lady, it almost looks like she's pole dancing. So you may be doing some sort of physical activity, because a pole dancer, I mean, that's not an easy activity to, you have to be flexible and really strong to hold yourself up on a pole. So I don't know if you actually have one of these stripper poles. I mean, I know you can do the stripper pole dancing with clothes on, obviously, but it feels like if you are looking to tone up your muscles or lose weight or whatever it is you're looking to do, it feels like you will be successful in that, because your first house is going to be your your first house is your physical body, your personality. It's going to be on your radar as far as this transformation and reevaluation and introspection goes. And because it's in Gemini, I will just stress that you may one day feel one way, and then the next day you may feel completely the opposite. So really try to gauge what's right for you and what's just your ego or illusions or what other people are projecting onto you, and trying to really feel into it, because you have the moon. Really follow what you're feeling. Your feelings are going to be your best compass this summer to go by. Okay, so I think we're going to go ahead and get into your oracle cards now. Beautiful. So there is a lot of green going on here in your reading. So for me, that is the heart chakra energy. You're really expanding your heart and really feeling, moon and feelings are going to be very important to you this summer. So with this autumn equinox, this is all about release. And what have we been talking about this whole time is just releasing regret and releasing what's not serving you and embracing the opportunity that is coming to you, whether that's just to have more joy in your life, a new job, whatever it is. You're searching for these silver linings, but in order to create more room in your life for good things to come in, a lot of times we have to release what's no longer serving. As an example, if you have a house full of hoarded items, you can't easily bring new things in to energize the space, because it's just going to add chaos. So first, what you need to do is release, purge, and get rid of what it is that you feel is not serving your highest good anymore. Maybe you have a bunch of decor items that are just outdated, or they just don't reflect your personality anymore, and you can donate those to someone who will really enjoy them, or some sort of thrift store or charity, and you will be releasing old energy to create room for new stuff to come in. And that really pairs beautifully with this rain card, all about purification. You're purifying, you're really setting the bar high. Pole. You're really setting the bar high for who you are, what you expect of other people, how they treat you, how they communicate with you, with this Gemini, all about communication, and just really figuring out what it is that absolutely needs to be in your life and what absolutely needs to go. Purifying that and making it new. So you may, because this is your first house, this may be you purifying your look. Maybe you're sick of the way your hair looks or your drab clothing style, maybe you've been hanging out in sweats a lot, something like that. And you're just ready for a change. You're ready for something new to come into your life. But in order to get that new, you got to release the old, like we were saying here. But then we have the Peace card, and it is number 23, and I think that's the only number we have on here. Yep. So 2 + 3 is 5. So again, change. More changes are coming into your life, but these changes you're making are going to bring you that peace and that peace of mind with your moon, with your mind, that you need. Because I feel like many of you, especially with moon and Gemini here, it's like you can't turn your thinking off, especially maybe when you're trying to go to sleep or if you're trying to meditate. It's like your thoughts just get amped up and they just run on overdrive. And it feels to me like you're going to be able to start balancing this out to kind of calm the mind a little bit and finding that Zen space and that sense of peace. But a great way to get your mind calm is to make sure you're not trying to sleep in a room that feels non-restful. Maybe it's really cluttered, or for instance, like in Feng Shui, or the Indian equivalent of that is called Vastu Shastra, which is all about which items belong where in your home to let the energy flow. But say you're sleeping next to a bookcase with all these book titles just screaming out at you, that's some sort of energy. You know, words are spells, words are spelling, words are energy. So having all these book titles spelling things to you all night right next to your bedside is probably not very restful, calm energy. That is just one little example that came to me. But maybe you have a lot of clothing laying around, that your closet's overflowing, and maybe it'd be time to purge that closet and release what you don't wear anymore, so you can actually hang the stuff you do wear into the closet. And then when you're trying to rest at night, your mind and your eyes aren't bouncing off of all this clutter. And then we have here the parenting and children card. So whether you're a parent or a child or both, this is going to be very important this summer. So if you are somebody's parent, it's going to be very important for you to be in contact with them and hanging out with them and just spending time with them. And there may even be some lessons that are being learned and released, maybe some karmic cycles or toxic patterns within a parenting-child relationship, or if you are the child with your parent. But if you have children at home, this could just be really re-examining ways and schedules to live your life with at home, because with this quarantine stuff, is if things start to lift a little, your daily schedule can change and your routine will probably change as well. But if you don't have any children and this is more about your parents, this is just saying, you know, reach out to them more, see if you can spend time with them if it's safe to do so. And there may be some cycles or, you know, childhood wounds or inner child stuff coming up, dealing with things your parents said or did to you or did not do for you growing up. I see someone dealing with an alcoholic father, and maybe this father recently or is going to be reaching out. Maybe you haven't really had much contact with this parent, and this father is cleaning up his life and purging what's not serving him, and he's reaching out to you and trying to open a new chapter or start a fresh start with you. And maybe you're the one as the child that maybe went off a way that maybe disappointed your parents, and you are on a path that you're really proud of, and you want to show these parents what you've accomplished and show them who you really are, and you guys could start some sort of new cycle in your relationship, something like that. So whichever way resonates for you guys. And if things are already going good, this to me looks like it's just going to continue to get better. So if you already have great relationships with your parents or your children, you're just going to continue on that path. So okay, I think that's all I'm seeing from the cards, but I did want to pull a few things from our treasure box here. I have some clippings and fortunes here, so I'm just going to close my eyes and dig for what feels good. Okay, we got a couple here. Oh, we got this with group number 1. We have keep calm, and we have that goes really beautiful with this peace card we have here. And then we have your gut acts like a second brain. We got that with group number 2. And then the current year will bring you much happiness. And of course, 2020 has been quite a year for many of us, and I feel like you are no exception. You may have really been through the ringer earlier this year, because, you know, with that star, that previous card is that tower. So you're coming out of some really heavy stuff. So I like to think for you guys, the rest of the year for you is going to be the best of the year for you. Starting this summer, you're going to have much more happiness coming in, and just a lot more freedom and lightness and joy and peace and calm coming into your life. And your intuition, you do already have this moon card, which is all about intuition, and your gut acts like a second brain. Your intuition is going to be steering you to make these changes you need to make, or to release what's no longer serving you, or purify what you need and get into that Zen mode of peace. And because you have the first house here, of course, your physical body, your personality are going to be very big focuses for you this summer. That's not to say other people, significant others, parents or children or whatever isn't going to be important, because they are. But you take center stage as far as releasing and purifying and really getting into peace with what it is you want. You're going to take center stage with creating your own beautiful life. So yeah, you guys, I think that's all I'm seeing for you, and you'll have to let me know below if this resonated and what you thought. And as always, you guys, thanks again so much for all your likes, comments, shares, subscribes, and all the things. And I really truly do hope to see you back at the Den Creative. All right, bye!